Good morning, everybody, and a happy birthday to me. I am now 32 years old. I am officially uh, old to some and young to others. So, hope everybody's doing fantastic. Misplaced Country Girl Fishing. Good morning, Travis Young. Happy
Uncle
birthday to me. Thank you.
Trav!
Appreciate it. Joining us this morning is the lovely Josie and Mrs. Yak. Everybody's up early today for various reasons. But hey, we're all here, and it's going to be a good time. So, have you ever requested a link for either my Venmo or my PayPal? They are both there today, and on the ticker on the bottom, and I will pin a link for it in a minute. Fishing for Whiskers. Good morning, happy birthday to you. No, to me. I really bad at this. Telling everybody happy birthday.
He's been told happy birthday multiple times this morning. He's been like, tell him happy birthday.
David,
back.
hello.
Like,
Bobcat,
birthday,
hello.
man.
Yeah, I'm just a pup. Yeah, I know you. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. I really do. It's gonna be a good day. Well, misplaced. I would say I could be wrong here. Maybe it's just the way I was raised, but I'm under the impression that women never age.
That's a good answer.
So I definitely understand. But hey, today is gonna be about reflection. I need more coffee. I don't drink coffee. I got some Coke Zero.
We don't drink coffee in this house.
Zero calorie caffeine right here. Well, we were also up late last night. I was pre-baiting my spot for the Sunday fishing trip, which is going to be a first time camping overnight while fishing. Like not fishing then camping. It's literally rods will be in the water the whole time while I'm sleeping. Everything type trip. It's gonna be pretty exciting.
We will not be there. We have work and daycare the next day.
Yep, that is the plan. So today is going to be a long stream. I'm still going to do a informative little bit, but for most part, it's just literally to hang out with you guys and spend some time on my birthday with my friends.
Show them her pajamas.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, hey, let's show them your pajamas. Oh, you want to go to me? That's what the problem was.
Sorry.
Look at her little fishing pajamas. You got fishing lures, a bobber, and a fishing hat.
She's pouting. So hand her back to me.
Why are you pouting, sweetheart? Oh,
she's
probably so sleepy.
She woke right up.
But it's got tackle box and net and all that good stuff on there. Josie is, I don't know how she is this morning. She woke up, she normally isn't going to get up until 8 on the weekends, but she definitely was awake at 6:30.
She woke up at 6 yesterday.
Yeah, so it's been a weird couple days.
We might still leave, Anthony. I'm sorry, y'all.
They say good morning. They're out of here.
Maybe just like get her now.
They might get out of here in a minute. We'll see.
Hey. I'm sorry, y'all.
They will see y'all later. Wave goodbye. Bye, Josie. Enjoy your Disney movie or something. All right, well, now you're back stuck with me. Mwahahaha. Yeah, we're not really sure what's going on. Her last tooth finally broke in, so it could be that. There's no telling. Anybody who's had kids know there's absolutely no telling, especially when they're at the point where they can't tell you what's wrong. You just have to guess and guess and guess again. So, yeah. Martin, good morning. It was a cool onesie. Yes, it was. Rhonda, that's fair. I think anybody before caffeine has that issue for sure. Yeah, I would have to agree. I missed somebody. Hillbilly, good morning. How are you doing? Hope everybody else is doing good. Anybody else is stopping in? Thanks for coming in, saying hello. She may or may not come back later. We'll see. It all depends how things go. But this morning, with it being a birthday, we need to go over reflection, learning from past trips. You know, I talked about in one of my other podcast episodes about setting up a game plan and that game plan uh, being based on past experiences. Well, one of the best times to really think about things and think about what changed and what is going better and what you've learned from and whatnot is actually to reflect on days like today for me in my case, birthdays, New Year's, um, holidays, days with slow bites. All those days are good times to think about things and think about what you did right, what you did wrong, what you could do better. Learn from it. Part of life is learning from your mistakes. Well, you don't have to learn from just mistakes. You can learn from your successes as well. So, how do you do this? Well, for some people, it's literally taking a fish log. You literally write down all your catches and what you caught it on, what the weather was like, all that good stuff. Where you caught it at, in terms of if it was the current scene, was it behind a boulder, was it behind logs, all that good stuff. That's probably the easiest way to do it, but it's also the most high effort way to do it, right? And I say high effort because you do it. It requires you to remember uh, how to not how to do it. Sorry, it requires you to remember how. Um, it requires you to remember to write it down. You know, if you spent the whole day fishing and didn't catch anything, then it's gonna be hard for you. It's gonna be easy for you. Oh, I didn't catch anything this day. Well, don't write that down. There's no need unless you want to write specifically. Hey, I went for this species. I tried this technique and it didn't work in this area. That gives you something that you can reflect on later. Now, granted, if you go fishing a lot, what happens when you do it this way is you're going to have books upon books upon books of information, which can be good and it can be bad, depending on who you ask. Um, some people are okay with that. The idea of uh, having that information to start with is great. But if you are just if you're for me, that technique works better for guys who don't go fishing. I say guys and gals. For people that go fishing, not every day. And I say that because for a lot of people, that will be very, very um, cumbersome. And on top of that, you once you go through all those details, it's a lot of stuff to read. Which some people are okay with it, some aren't. Some people like having the stuff to read, some people don't. If you don't, there's a couple other ways you can do it. Like for me, I fish a lot, and I don't necessarily have time to write it down, especially if my wife and kid. I literally, like Dave just mentioned, I look at pictures, I look at videos. I have video clips of a lot of stuff, especially the special ones. Uh, I do a YouTube channel, so I have that benefit as well. I have all of this information available to me in a different medium. Uh, with doing the video, yeah, I might say what the day actually is in the video. I can kind of see what the weather look like where I'm fishing, all that good stuff. A lot of spots, obviously, I'm fishing multiple times in the same spot, so I can know where I'm at. I know what I see just from looking at the video, and can use it to my advantage. Thanks, Rustic. Appreciate it, buddy. I really do. And yeah, so you have in my case, I have these videos I go back and look at. And dates wise, yes, the video is gonna have a date on it that's not matching the day I went fishing. But I know that on those fishing trips, it's sometime within the last 2 or 3 weeks typically. So I can kinda guess what time of year it was, which isn't necessarily the best. Like, I probably should keep a logbook, but with having the wife and the kid fishing with me too, it's not always easy to do that. And keeping that in mind, uh if you're into the whole trying to better yourself every year thing, that could be a goal for yourself. Like, I would like to start doing a log. I don't go fishing as much as I used to. I used to go before Josie, I would go every other day, if not every day, because my wife and I had opposite work schedules. But now that they're in my life more than they were, um, or at all versus not, I guess, right, in the case of the baby. But, I don't go fishing as much as I used to, and it would be easier now to keep a log, and it would help me out a lot, I'm sure. Just because I do try so many things, I do try many experiments, and some work and some don't. I remember some of them, and I remember some, like I remember doing something, but I can't tell you what the conditions were when I did that thing. Like a new, if I try a different bass bait or I try a different walleye bait, or if I go specifically for some species that I've never caught before, you know, I remember doing that, and I remember what I tried to do it with, per se, but I um don't necessarily remember all the conditions and everything. And so writing that log would make it easier for me. Big Slim, welcome in. Thanks, thank you, appreciate it. Happy birthday. I should have had some little hat to wear. That'd have been cool. But, so again, reflection, thinking about your trips, remembering the stories, people you go fishing with, they can help you with that stuff too, to remember things that happened that you may or may not remember. Um, you have pictures of those big special fish or of a certain scenario that popped up, video clips, all of that stuff is able to be used. And it can be fun, if you, especially if you're on one of those days where the weather's cold and crappy and you don't really want to go outside, you can you can look through those pictures and those video clips. Maybe give yourself a smile that day. It really, really, really can be fun to do this reflection thing. And like I said, today's my birthday. We're gonna do reflections for today. Uh, again, little short info. The biggest thing is keep a log, take pictures, take videos. If you run a YouTube channel, try to be a little either a write when you're doing your metadata on your file, write what day you actually went fishing, or talk about it in your video. Obviously, you don't necessarily want to tell your spots, right? But hey, it's June, beginning of June, sunny, rainy, weedy, whatever. I'm fishing weeds, fishing in rocks. The water is dingy. That you can tell those details in your video, and then use that later. And by doing that, you will give yourself the chance to repeat success, set up that game plan for next time, learn from mistakes, try new things, get new ideas based on all of that. So again, that's kind of it for the info part of it. Like I said, it's gonna be short. I think that's probably like 8 minutes. But I want to go over some stuff, some pictures and stuff of the past, year or so, and talk about these are all pretty much fish pictures. You saw my wife and kid. I could go on and on about that stuff as well. Um, and I am a blessed individual. I have been married uh almost 8 years. October 30th will be 8 years. My daughter's gonna be she's 2.5. So I mean, I own a house. Um, I have a good paying job. I literally have everything that anybody in the American dream could want. The only way to go from here is up. Debts are getting paid off. More money is getting put in the bank. It's getting medical bills paid off, all that good stuff. Growing my child, if you will, and loving my wife. I'm very blessed, very happy. And then I run a YouTube channel. It's mostly for fun. I've met great people. All of you all are fantastic people. I appreciate everybody coming and telling me your birthday. And now it's just time for some reflection. And if you guys are interested in coming up, I will post a link if you were interested, because I would love to have you guys up here if I can see my computer. Link is pinned. If anybody's interested in coming up and talking, you're more than welcome to. I'm actually going to put in some earbuds so that way it doesn't go crazy in here in a minute. And so I can hear you guys. Hopefully, hopefully it'll work. Yeah, there we go. Cool. But yeah, so if you guys are interested in coming up, feel free to come up and talk. I'll be more than happy to. Uh, Other than that, we're going to go into some pictures. Let's see. So here we go. This is the first. I'm gonna show you. Here we go. Let me do this right. There we go. All right. So this is the first saltwater fish I ever caught. Oh, here we go. The man, the myth, the legend.
Well, you got somebody else in basement then.
Oh. How are you, David?
I'm good. Can you hear me just fine?
I can.
Huh?
Hang on a second. I am having a really bad echo. I gotta try to find it.
Are you having a bad? It's probably me.
Nope, here we go. I got it. Sweet.
Okay. Well, happy birthday, first off.
Appreciate it, man.
Give that little one and that fancy onesie a hug.
I will. She will be getting lots of hugs today. I can assure you that.
Yeah, and when the kids were little, Naomi used to buy themed onesies.
They're fun.
Like Matthew had all his onesies had like cartoon characters and stuff on it, and Gregory's always had cars, and Timothy's always had fishing and hunting. And then they all grew up to be about the same.
Hey,
told
nothing
her-
wrong with that.
She influenced them by putting certain clothes on them.
That's funny. Well, you like anything else, they only grow with what you feed them. Plants, obviously only produce good fruit good food rather if you feed and water them well and all that good stuff. So I mean, even at a basic level of just dealing with a plant, you can see that the good stuff going in produces the good stuff coming out. So it definitely makes sense.
Well, and of course, Timothy's the only one that'll probably ever do anything out of my three boys, since Matt and Greg have that autism. Matthew could probably do something. He just doesn't. I mean, he's got Asperger's, so his biggest thing is he has no filter.
I understand.
So if he sees a really big person, he'll proceed to tell them how they cannot be big. Or if he sees one time when he was a kid, we was at Walmart. He's probably about 12, and he seen a pregnant woman, and he proceeded to try to tell her how that baby got there.
Wow.
So we left in a hurry.
That's funny. No, I don't blame you. But at the same time, with some of that stuff, some people need to hear it, So I can't.
And you can't blame the boy, because the problem. I mean, it's not really a problem, but he speaks what he thinks instead of holding it back like we do. So it's just a little different. But Timothy, my youngest boy, I mean, he's an EMT firefighter. He's got. I mean, if he just took 2 more classes, he'd have his nursing certificate and all that stuff. So.
Well, that's cool. But you're proud of all 3 of them, though. I know that because you talk about them all the time.
You're proud of them in certain ways. You know, like Matthew's really good with all of his little electronic stuff and things like that. And even if they're kids that just stay at home, you still got to praise them.
Oh yeah.
Like Gregory. Gregory gets like we did a Temu video, however you say it. And that video has actually got some traction. It took off pretty good yesterday.
Cool.
It got over 200 and some views just yesterday.
Nice.
But with that, Gregory gets all those. Of course, I had somebody yell at me because I took 2 lures from Gregory on that video. They're like, "Why are you gonna give him lures and then take them back? That's just wrong." I was like, I should have said in the video that, I did tell him beforehand he was going to give me 2 of them lures.
Right.
And I probably should have said it in the video, but I'll put it in the description so they can some people just got to be trolls,
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, granted, he's autistic, and I did just go, "Hey, give me them 2," But it's the behind the scenes stuff that people don't see, and then they get angry with.
Right.
It's just like, well, like, let's take how old are you now today, Anthony?
32.
32. So see, you're still a young man. I'm old enough to still be your dad.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people I talk to nowadays could be.
Yeah.
But
But you're old enough, and now that you have a family, you see how before you had that child, you thought completely different, or at least you thought you're like, I mean, like most people, they think, oh, I know what it's like to have a kid. I took care of my nephews and nieces and stuff. But when that child comes into your life that is yours, there's nothing that compares. There's nothing. I mean,
Right.
even if you say that you know what it's like to have a kid, if you don't have a kid, you have no clue. Just like
No, I agree.
people that have been in a wheelchair for a short time standing there above me telling me that they know what it's like to be in a wheelchair. You know what it's like to sit in one for a short time, but you don't know what it's like to be in one for the rest of your life.
That's
It's
fair.
just that kind of that thing. And you have got enough experience on the bank now with your child that you realize fishing with a child is a whole nother experience.
Yes, it is. It definitely is. And when she can actually start running around, it's going to be even more of a learning curve that I don't have yet. You know, right now, for the most part, I can put her in a pack and play or on a blanket or just hold her, depending on what kind of fishing we're doing, and it's fine. But when she's wanting to run around and get into stuff, find snakes, all this other stuff, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And, we, as a dad that did all that, just make sure that you're very mindful of where she's at, because Gregory fell in the river when he was probably about 16 months old.
Mm-hmm.
He took off running, and we just doing our thing, and we just thought he was right there. You know how things happen.
Yeah.
And he took off running and straight to the river and fell in the river. And we seen him fall in the river. I ran over there. I jumped in the river. I pulled him up out. Now we're talking about a Kansas river. So the river was 18 inches deep. So It's not like he was in, 20 feet of water.
Mississippi.
Yeah. And we got in there. I jerked him up out of there, and he actually was up, underwater just for a few, and he got up and he was choking and coughing it all out and stuff. So, but 2 months prior to that, we were living over here by the river. Our house was by the river. We had a babysitter that let him go down, and he fell in the river there. Well, there it was 8 foot deep, and the only thme that stopped him from drowning was a limb caught his shirt and held his head and chest up out of water.
Wow.
And me and Naomi got home. We was like, where's kids? She's like, oh, they're playing in the backyard. So we went to the backyard, and Gregory was missing.
Go figure.
And then I was like, where's Gregory? And Naomi's all like yelling at Amanda, going, where's Gregory? Where's Gregory? Where's my son? What'd you do with my son? And I was like, and I screamed, shut up, because I thought I heard crying.
Right.
And I made them both shut up, and I listened. And then I just faintly heard him cry. I was like, he's in the river.
Yeah.
And I jumped the fence and went to the river and was looking in the water and looking down the bank. And there he was, just right there where the little trail goes down. He just, off into the river.
Well, thankfully that limb caught him, and he's still around with us today.
Well, that girl actually Naomi called the cops and everything, because we couldn't find him. Right. She'd already called the cops before I screamed, shut up. And that babysitter got in trouble, but not like legally in trouble. She just got yelled at by the cop, and, hey, you're 16 years old. You're supposed to be responsible. The whole thing. So, I felt sorry for the poor girl, because, Gregory is kind of wild.
Sure, but
now,
she was there being the babysitter, though. It was her responsibility. So I understand from both perspectives.
But I'm just, sorry for the whole long story on your show. It's something that you majorly need to be aware of.
And I appreciate that. If it wasn't for people having experiences and teaching us youngins, as you guys call me, we would have to learn through. Well, if you want to call that a failure, we have to learn through that failure ourselves. And so
there's a reason why they say warning signs. Like, I'm sitting here leaning on the car. There's always warning signs. Don't stick your hand in the fan. Well, there's a reason why they put that warning there, because somebody did it.
Right. Shaz, good morning. Thanks for coming in.
Well, I just wanted to pop up
Mrs.
here and. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was done.
You good, Mrs. Yak's in the chat now. Big Slim's 32 as well. Congrats. Let's see. David Hughes, thank you. Appreciate it. Good morning. Hope everybody else is doing okay. Like I said, we're just going over a year of just a day of reflection. You know, I was going to do this past year, but I'm getting advice from other parents and stuff, and it's going to be good. David, I appreciate you coming up, and I hope you guys have a good day. Give Naomi a hug for me.
It's just my opinion. Take it or leave it.
Oh, hey,
not telling you what to do by any means.
Right, I will always take advice. Whether or not I use said advice is up to me and my wife. But I am always happy to hear everybody's opinion because everybody has that right. Everybody has the right to an opinion.
The only good advice that ever comes from one parent to another is just love your kid and take lots of pictures.
Well, that one's a given.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things I took from the guys I worked with when my kid was born was they always talk about their regret was not being around their child enough. And then, you know, overtime shows up and I'm like, well, do I take the overtime and have the money that's going to get taxed heavily and maybe get a couple extra bucks, or do I, you know, go ahead and go home and see my kid? And I've talked to my wife
in that next tax bracket.
Well, that too, right? So like, it's hit or miss. Sometimes we need the money, and sure, I'll take it. But typically, I'm gonna come home and spend the time with my kid. It's not gonna be like an hour or two. So I mean, it's not like it's, you know, hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
And there's other people there that want it more than I do, or need it more than I do. So
time with the family is more valuable than
exactly.
As long as you got enough funds to supply your needs, then the rest is just wasted time with the family to a point.
Right.
I mean, I understand people got careers and people have, you know, want to make more money, but sometimes you just have to draw the line.
Oh no, I agree entirely.
And you were smart.
Back. We're gonna try again.
Y'all was smart by, you know, and it may not have been by choice, but waiting to have the child until you were, you know, late 20s. That's a wise choice in my opinion. When people have children as young as like me and Naomi had children, you know, I was 22 or 23 with or 22 with Matthew. So, and then Naomi was 20. So we were fairly young. So we didn't have no time to save money or put anything back or get stabled in a house beforehand. And I think that's where a lot of people in my generation, they struggle so hard later in life is because we had kids so early and didn't have time to, you know, get caught up. Now, I mean, in my opinion, I think that most people should wait until their late 20s to have children because that gives you time to get a house, a car, get that thing paid halfway off, you know, that kind of stuff. So
right,
it just makes it a little easier.
Well, I can't say
older and had all your fun out of the way.
Right. Well, I can't say it was intentional, but it did work out that way for us. So it definitely, I definitely see the advantages of it. And yes, I have told some of my younger friends that opinion as well, because it's like, in our case, if we had a kid right when we first got married, we bought our house right away, but it wasn't, we would have been owned the full price on it. We, there's certain debts we wouldn't have had. But at the same time, there's lots of things that happened with the house that if we had to pay for diapers and all that stuff, then I would not have been able to pay to fix the roof or, you know, remove the giant tree that fell in our backyard and on our house and all that good stuff. The water heater. I mean,
within a year of being here.
All that stuff. Granted, some of it's covered, you know, by home warranty, some of it's covered by insurance, but they tell you that it is.
Well, yeah, but you still have to do it first and then get paid back.
Exactly. What they offer you is like the money it would cost the contractor to buy the supplies, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, you still have to pay for the labor. You still have to pay for the counseling, counseling, all that good stuff. Consulting.
Just so we saved a little bit of money on our insurance, what we did was we have a policy to where it pays out so much, and then when the work is completed, it finished paying out.
Right.
So,
but you know, and a lot of that stuff, especially a lot of that insurance lingo, they don't teach that in school. You know, we don't know anything.
They do that for a reason,
right? Mick H, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Happy birthday to you as well.
And I think another thing
actually is his birthday.
Okay,
not today, but just soon.
I can't hear the stream.
Yes, here, hang on, I'm gonna use it here, bud.
I can't hear anything anyone's saying.
She just listened to the lips moving across the screen, doesn't understand what's going on.
One thing that I can say though is if anybody's able to, like if you're younger in life like y'all are, if you're able to, stick $100 to $200 a month away in like Edward Jones or CDs or stuff like that. Because that stuff, by the time you're my age, that stuff adds up really quick.
Right.
And you got to think it's not that you're just putting that $100 to $200 a month in there. It's that interest compounded.
Oh yeah. And there's definitely lots of trains of thought on that too, right? Some people are like, "Oh, you may not live long enough to see it." Well, and that's fine. Well, if you do what you want, but remember, you got to remember that if you are living that way, that when you retire, you're going to have nothing. You're still going to have to work.
Yeah.
So you can't ever.
Well, here's my philosophy on that. If you live by the Bible says that we're supposed to leave our children an ample amount to survive and live off of for their life.
Right.
So we are supposed to leave retirement to our children. We are supposed to leave our wealth to our children. Some people live their lives out of their means and they'll just never do it.
Right.
I mean, everybody lives how they want to live. And regretfully enough, these days, most people are selfish within themselves, that they spend all their money and don't care about their family members, even their immediate, like their children or their wife. Or I know many of people in my community that I've been friends with over the years, more acquaintance than anything, that every time they get money, it's all about what they get, what they want. The wife just stays at home and does nothing and never gets anything.
Right.
I'm like, you're in a marriage that's supposed to be y'all's money. And, granted, people just don't live that way. That's not, they don't live responsibly. They spend every dollar they got to the last minute. If you're poor and you're having trouble paying your rent, don't buy soda pop, don't buy cigarettes, pay your rent.
Right.
There's priorities in life, but people have forgotten that over the way. It's nice to see younger people like y'all that have done what you're supposed to in life, and then the way you spread your message on YouTube and stuff with your fishing and your, your faith and stuff like that.
I appreciate that.
That right there is, that's sharing your wealth, but not your, monetary wealth, your physical wealth, your mental wealth.
And that's a key point right there. For some people are going to have more of one than the other, right? Like I'm probably never going to be a millionaire anytime soon, right?
Yeah.
But I have lots of friends that give me information, lots of family that have helped me with things. I have, like I said, if you're going off the American Dream checklist, I literally have everything that's on that checklist, right? So,
except for the white picket fence.
Except for the white picket fence. Sorry, I do not have a white picket fence. My wife said that is true.
Well, me and Naomi have lived comfortably on less than $30,000 a year for the last 15 years, and it's all in how you live.
Oh, exactly.
And even with only having that kind of income, that's not very much. That's about $15 a year per person. That's basically minimum wage.
Right.
And we've had, I bought a brand new truck and we've, and paid it off. And then, now I'm into another truck. So it's on what you spend your money on. We don't smoke. We don't drink soda pop. If there is soda pop brought in this house, it's for the kids and we get like a case a month. That's it.
Go Tro off-road. Good morning.
We don't buy all that junk food. It's on how you live, and you guys are doing a great job.
Well, I appreciate that, David. Matt, here's your attention. Good morning. Matt's the guy I work with. He's always giving me grief, but
okay, that makes more sense now.
Super good dude.
I was like, who is that?
Love you too, buddy.
Did she fall back to sleep? Oh, I see her head move now.
She's right there. No, she's just hanging out, snuggling to mama. Mom's definitely her favorite person. I'm just the.
She didn't want to sleep.
I'm just.
Yeah, you're an old show that Naomi used to watch, the dinosaurs. You're not the mama.
Not the mama. Yep. Dinosaurs.
I know what that is.
Okay. What are you making the face for?
Not the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
I do a really good impression of that dinosaur.
Who does?
I do, the baby one. I do a great impression of the baby dinosaur.
Well, let's hear it.
Not the mama. Let's hear it. Come on.
She can't hear you. She can't wear these earbuds. Unfortunately, I don't have a.
Yeah, you don't have a paired one.
If I put a speaker on, it's gonna
tell her that we're waiting for her to say.
I have to go in your ear and stay. They won't stay in my ear. They hurt me.
Apparently, everybody's waiting to hear you say it.
No.
Okay, she's not gonna do it. That's all right. Matt, yes, I sometimes keep fish I catch. If you watch a video from 2 years ago, I went crappie fishing out of my kayak, and I kept those fish that day. I believe it was 4 of them, 5 of them, something like that.
The problem is I don't eat fish, and I won't clean the fish, and he doesn't want to clean the fish. So
I can't stand cleaning fish.
So
it's not that I'm opposed to it, but I also catch way more than I could ever eat.
And I won't eat it with him. I don't eat fish.
We do a lot of a specimen fishing, if you will. So we're going after the bigger fish, big carp, big catfish, all that good stuff. And some people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. But for me, once a fish gets over a certain point, it's not edible anymore.
It's not going to have free food either, bud. Like, you have to pay for all the supplies and stuff.
But
around here, if you eat a catfish over 10 pounds, you're taking your life into your own hands.
And
we have so much lead and mercury in our ground because it's mined here in Kansas.
Right.
So you eat big fish, you're going to poison yourself. That's why we mostly eat crappie. Crappie only live 8 to 10 years, so they don't have a time to build up all the lead.
Right. Well, and that's why people ask me why I eat the baby catfish, the ones with the channel cats with the spots on them. Well, they're less than a year old.
Here in Kansas, you can get in the river. You can get 10 channel cat a day, no limit or no length.
Yeah.
So when we go and get channel cat for fish fry, we're getting them 10 to 14 inches.
Right. I'm about to say, to me, like less than 15 inches is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Those are usually the younger. Obviously, if you're fishing in a really tiny water, they could be older and still be small because fish, kind of are limited by their growth space.
Yeah, but here I caught a catfish out of my pond. And that catfish only been in my pond 2.5 years, and that thing was already 2.5, 3 pounds.
Right, and so typically,
if it was in a big body of water, it'd probably been 5 to 8 pounds.
Right, exactly. So I mean, there's a fine line. It's based on preferences, based on local recommendations and such. Like we live in Tennessee, and the TVA, you're only supposed to eat 1 serving of catfish a month or whatever, according to them. Because
here
all the stuff in the water.
Here it's 1 4-ounce portion.
Yeah, so I don't know what size portion it is, but yes,
a piece of fish half the size of a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And you're only supposed to eat that once a month. Well, when I eat fish, I'm eating about 12 to 15 pieces that size.
Yeah, right. I'm having a fish fry. Dang it.
Yep. I want to eat until my stomach starts turning.
Right.
That's too much grease.
It is definitely something.
Yak, I'm going to jump down off your panel. I didn't mean to come up here and.
Oh, you're good, man. I appreciate you coming up and saying hey. And I'm sure everybody else had. I'm sure everybody else enjoyed getting. Well, that's all good. I'm sure everybody else enjoyed a break from my voice for a minute, so it's all good. And I appreciate it. Have a good day, man. Give Naomi a hug.
I need to get back to working on this.
Yes, you do. I can't wait to see it when it's running.
If I put gas in it, see, to get it running, I'd have to put the carb on, the distributor cap, put water in it and gas, and it'd probably fire up.
If it's just that simple, then why don't you do it, David?
Because I want to finish the body work first.
Right. I don't blame you, man.
Yeah. And then I got my biggest problem is I don't want to start it until I get my, I don't know what I did with my dipstick tube, but the dipstick tube to the transmission screws on.
Uh-huh.
And there's supposed to be a copper washer in there that is actually like, it's the gasket, basically. The copper, you tighten it enough that it pushes into the copper, and then that stops your seal.
Yeah.
And I can't, and since it's a 64 Rambler, try to find that copper ring.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a rough one to find.
Yeah. Well, what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm just going to use some black Ultra Seal, and so they'll dab on the dipstick tube and, like a little ring on it, and then let it set up and then put it up in there. And it just needs to stop the fluid from coming out of the bottom of the dipstick tube.
Right.
It's just on this vehicle, the dipstick tube is screwed into the side of the transmission pan, which makes it a little weird, but
sure. For the sake of those in the conversation,
the tube comes down.
For the sake of those in the conversation that aren't familiar with that vehicle, what year, make, and model is that again?
It's a 1964 Rambler Classic. It's a two-door hardtop. As you can see, you get my hand in the right spot. There is no post between the, when you open the door, there's no bar there. It's glass all the way front to back on the side.
Yeah, I can't wait to see when you get it finished, man. It's going to be great.
But I've got, when I got it, you couldn't, the tires were just completely rust. And so I've painted the tires and sandblasted them so far. The rims, I mean. So the rims look really nice. That's the gold that the top is supposed to be. But like I was saying, right here, there's no post. So when you roll this window down.
Yeah, it stays down and goes all the way down.
See?
Yep. My dad's got a Buick Skylark, and I'm pretty sure it was the same way. Doesn't have a post on the windows.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing is, this car is only 13 and a half feet long, only weighs 2,600 pounds. And that little V8 will make this thing move pretty good. They were fairly slow cars in the day, as far as what we, do now.
Right.
I mean, like this ran like a 15-second quarter mile.
Well, it is what it is.
It wasn't no 10-second car.
Right.
But
351 and Sandy
They're
Toes,
nice. They run really good. But most people don't know that this engine in the Rambler, this is the first generation V8 in the Rambler. This was what came out of the Hudson Hornet.
I remember you telling me that, yeah.
Yeah, Hudson sold out to Rambler. And that's why they became American Motors Company, because it became Rambler, Nash, and Hudson all merged together and became American Motors, because they were all American companies.
Nice.
So, and this in the Hudson Hornet, this would have been a 250, because it would have had a 3.5-inch bore.
Mm-hmm.
So, where the piston goes, the width of the hole would have been 3.5 inches. This one says 287 on it, but it's a 327. It just has a 4-inch. It has a 4-inch bore, but it's in a car that only came with the 287. So when I got it, it was red, and I took and redid the motor and painted it back to blue, which would have been a 287 color. And then I put a 287 badging on it. But inside this engine, it has a 4-inch bore.
So we call a sleeper.
Yeah. Well, it's just got a 2-barrel carb on there. But the thing is everybody's like, stick a 4-barrel carb on there. Well, in this engine, going from a 2-barrel carb to a 4-barrel carb, you're only going to gain about 10 horsepower.
Right.
But you're going to lose about 4 miles to the gallon.
Exactly.
So it's just not worth it. And I know guys have taken and put in if you can find a 4-barrel carb intake, they're about $300 to $500 if you can find one, and they don't make an aftermarket one. You have to buy an original off of a 327. So, it's just not worth it.
Hi, sharing, Daddy.
She's being a mess. She's in a better mood now.
My favorite car of all time is actually the 68 through 69 Rambler American, which is a smaller car than this.
Uh-huh.
And they came out with 390s, and they ran 12-second quarter miles from the factory.
Wow.
AMC had the Javelin and the AMX and the Rebel Machine. And the AMX was actually banned from the Trans Am circuit and from NASCAR and stuff, because it was faster than the Corvettes and the Camaros and all of that with its 401. But then they had the little Gremlin. Everybody knows what a Gremlin is. The little AMC Gremlin.
Right. Matt, have a good day at work. Tell everybody I said hey.
They came out with one of those that had a 401 in it and ran low 11s all day long. That was a fast car then. It would beat all the Hemis and everything, but most people just didn't know about them.
And that's the difference. Sandy, thank you for the birthday song. I appreciate it very much. Link is posted above. For anybody else that wants to come up, you're more than welcome to come up and say, hey. The link's up on top, pinned to the top.
What ended up killing Rambler was they sold out to Renault.
Renault. I'm not familiar with that one either.
Yeah, Renault was like one of the worst cars ever made in the 80s.
Why'd they sell out? Why'd they sell to them then?
They were just having troubles because of all the fuel crunching and all that stuff in the 70s.
I got you.
Yeah, when they were putting out 390s and 401s and stuff in cars, it was just too much gas.
I'm gonna get my earbuds so I can get in the stream in here too.
Okay.
So
that's fine.
But hey, I'm gonna get out of here and let you have your. This is supposed to be your birthday stream, and
well, I appreciate it. I still appreciate you coming up and giving me advice and stuff. And
don't ask me about cars; I'll never stop.
Oh, it's all good, man. Like I said, I'm sure everybody enjoys the break.
If you are interested, Anthony,
mm-hmm.
I have another YouTube channel.
Oh.
And it's called Lemon Fab. My last name, LEMENFAB.
Okay.
But I haven't posted nothing since Naomi's wreck about 2 years ago.
Is that all stuff on the car though?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's all metal shop and stuff on the car and me working on the car and up to about this, process.
Yeah.
And then, but Naomi's been telling me that now that she's good enough to not need me all the time and stuff to help her do things and what have you. She's like, you need to get back out in the shop. I think she's tired of us being together all the time. But she's like, you need to get back out in the shop.
If that works out, I hope it does.
Well, I never had the money to finish it once she had a wreck,
right.
Like what we were talking about, priorities. And the only thing that stopped me is about $150 worth of primer.
Right.
And now there's nothing stopping me.
Well, do it then, man. I want to see the car. I know Shannon would like to see it when it's finished.
Yeah. A lot of people would. But like I said, I have that other channel, and if people are interested, they can go back and look. And like I said, though, I haven't posted nothing for a while, but I am actually going to get back on to posting stuff.
Cool.
On that, and going to start bringing that channel back up now.
And you said that was LEMENFAB?
Yep.
Well, for anybody who's into cars and wants to see that project possibly get finished in the near future, feel free to check his channel out. If you're interested in just hand-tied jigs and stinger flies and all that good stuff, David does a live stream every Friday called Jigs and Coffee, where he actually does hand-tied flies on the fly and talks to chat. And it's a good time. I
always mean to get in there and watch. I always forget because I'm at work.
But he makes good stuff. I've gotten several of his stuff. Actually, hang on. I have... They're still on my desk.
Aha.
The batch of stinger flies you sent me.
Them things are supposed to be going to the water.
They are. I haven't had a chance to go out my kayak again lately.
Yeah. Well,
and it's also been so hot. So
I sent somebody some, and they were trying to use them from bank. And I was like, well, they would work from bank if you had a good enough river current. But
that's like if you had current, if you had a bobber, you'd definitely have to have a bobber or something to keep off the bottom.
Yeah.
Or it's gonna get just hung up all day. But yeah, but I appreciate it. And like I said, you guys want to check him out? It's Double Hook Angling on YouTube. He's also on Facebook. David, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. Give Naomi a hug for us, and tell everybody we said hello.
You guys take care.
You too, buddy.
Be blessed.
You too. All right. Back to this. This is the first saltwater fish I ever caught. My wife and I went on vacation to St. Augustine, Florida in January. And I had every intention of going saltwater fishing at least once while I was down there. I got to go twice.
It was January 22, right?
Yes. It was not. Yeah. It wasn't this year. It was last year. No idea what I was doing. Borrowed equipment from her cousin.
Shout out, Tiffany.
Yes. And just went out there and did my best and caught a pompano, which I had no idea what I was going to catch. I'm like, I'm going to throw some shrimp out there and we'll see what happens. Caught a pompano. And every time I saw somebody caught a pompano, I'm like, oh, really? Let's see it. Because they're expecting, a pompano. You see how small that is. It was smaller than my hand, it wasn't like it was a big toad or anything. Curbside Classics, good morning. Welcome in. NJ Fishing Maniacs in the house. NJ, hope you're doing better. Hope your back's doing better. Hope your dad's doing okay. Hope you get out there fishing again soon.
I made that skunk sticker. I just got to get it made. I drew it.
She has the design done for the skunk.
I didn't forget
the carp with the skunk outfit.
It just costs money.
We just haven't done it yet. But she has the design all finished out and everything. But yeah, so that was the first fish I caught in saltwater. Mm-hmm. This is the second fish I caught. It's a black sea bass. It was even smaller.
As you can see based on this.
I think it's about that long. If it hadn't been for the fact that my camera has zoom and my wife had flash on her phone, I would not have known what that was.
Didn't you reel that in and didn't know it was on there?
I did. I was checking bait and hey, there's something on this. That's what this was. It never even hit hard.
Yeah, I understand.
It's a black sea bass.
That's how I caught my first 3 flatheads.
Right. Then let's see. This was a trip with Jody.
Yes.
It was the first trip actually with Jody.
It was.
That Shannon and I went with. This was during the gathering last year, 2022. This catfish took a dump on Jody's boat. It was the worst smelling thing I ever smelled in my life.
Is that the same one I pulled up really fast and it hurt it?
No.
Was that a different fish? The same trip?
No, it was the same fish. You're right.
Okay, yeah. I reeled it in.
We were trying to. She reeled it in too fast, and so the air bladder didn't deflate properly.
Oops.
So when we tried deflating it, is when it was not pleasant. It smelled horrible. It was awful.
It was really gross.
It was absolutely terrifying at what was available to be smelled. It was awful. But hey, we're gonna keep doing with these, do some more reflection stuff. If you guys want to come and say, hey, the link is pinned to the top of the YouTube chat. Like I said, there was some people that requested my Venmo and my PayPal. They're going across the bottom of the screen. They're also in the description if anybody needs those. But I believe, here's another picture of that same fish. And same fish. Sandy, exactly. It told us exactly what she said. It told us how you felt about being caught. How it felt about being caught. Yes, it did.
It was not a happy fish, but it was a really gentle fish though. It never even tried to flop or anything.
It was interesting to say the least.
That was a terrible picture of me, Anthony. Oh my gosh.
It's not a terrible picture of you. You're a beautiful individual. Love of my life. Your hair's a little frizzy. You and Jody were taking naps on the boat, and if I'm not mistaken, didn't Jody's hair catch on fire at one point?
She leaned over into her heater, and I thought she didn't catch on fire, but she was real close.
She kept dozing off in the captain's chair, and she had this giant propane heater.
I'm surprised she didn't put her head on fire.
Yes, it was. I mean, one of those big propane heaters, and she was.
Hey, she is prepared for everything.
She is prepared for everything
except for gas.
That's fair.
Except for gas on
Hang on, I'm gonna get this to work. There we go. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. We won't run out of gas too. That's a good point.
That's the same trip that we had fumes.
Yeah. So.
And we barely made it back. We don't know how we made it back.
We were gonna go fishing with Jody. Perfect. Baby was gonna come with us. Perfect.
Downpour.
Yeah. First off, it downpoured, and we had to call it babysitter, which thankfully she came and picked her up, because it started getting cold really quick after that rain, surprise rain, and so then we went out, just the three of us, at that point. And on the way back, she's like, "I hope we got enough gas, guys." When I tell you that we picked up the can, and you could shake it and hear nothing. I am serious. There was not a single drop of liquid gas in that gas can.
We don't know how we made it back. Because we did. We made it back. We just don't know how. It must have been fumes.
Oh, Sandy, for sure. If she'd have caught her hair on fire, we would never let her down.
I would have pushed her in the water. I would have been like, body check.
It would have been interesting for sure. But yeah, it would have been great. Let's see, I can pull the comments up here so you can see it. See.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
I love Jody so much.
Yeah.
She's one of my best friends, I think, honestly. I got to fish with her in a tournament recently. That was a lot of fun.
David said, talk about being on fire fishing. Yeah, if the bite was on fire, but my hair was on fire, I think I'd rather have. I don't have any hair. I don't have that problem. Just it's easier for things to go over my head too without any hair. You know, it's nice and slick.
The child officially has more hair than him.
Yes. Yes, she does.
You can pull on it now.
She's telling us all about it.
She's awake.
Yeah, a thumbnail for that video would have been easy for sure. Jody caught her hair on fire.
Take a selfie. Click.
Right. Let's see. What's the next one I got here? Next one.
Oh, it's me
All right.
again.
This was during the 1v1 with NJ last year.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh.
She really wanted to hold up the fish to the camera for me.
I did.
So I let her do it.
I did. I don't think I held a carp before until then.
You hadn't, because the first one you caught, you made me hold.
Yeah, they're slimy. They smell bad.
Oh,
It's worse than catfish. I like catfish.
This 1v1 was fun. And NJ and I plan doing a rematch someday. But this is the day that we were doing this 1v1. We got there right when it started. So I was almost an hour late putting baits in. When I did finally catch a fish, though, I forgot the scale. And it was a weight-based competition, so I had no way to weigh the fish. David said you should have given the carp a kiss.
That's what Josie thinks about it.
Yeah. But yeah, so my lovely wife, drove
welcome.
25 minutes
one way
back to the house. Looked in the spot, said the scale was, and it wasn't there. So I spent time finding it, found it, and came back.
I don't know how I made it.
By the time she came back, I think I had either 3 or 4 fish in the net.
It was closer to the higher number.
I think it was 4. I think, yeah.
You didn't let one go, didn't you?
Then it was 3, because I caught 4 carp in that one buffalo, and that was it. So,
I don't remember.
Yeah, so I had 3 carp in the net when she came back, because I let one of them go because I was afraid that they were going to flop out, because it only has so much space.
Dang, kid.
And she saved the day. That's all I can say about that. She saved the day.
He's welcome.
And this is in September of 2022. This is Bobcat with a 49-pounder. We were in a tournament fishing together.
That is a pretty fish.
This is up at Watts Bar. He actually caught 2 that day. He caught a 49-pounder and a 42-pounder. But I did help. I caught a 6-pounder. We were bumping below Watts Bar, and yeah, he's definitely the king of bumping. It's something I need to have more practice with. And once I get our boat finished, I'm looking forward to doing that more, because it's definitely an adrenaline rush for sure. But yep, 42-pound. Or I'm sorry, that was a 49-pound blue cat. Caught right below Watts Bar Dam.
It's real pretty.
Big old fish. I think I got 5 pictures of this one.
Hi, Bob.
For those who don't know, Bob had triple bypass surgery recently. He is doing better. He's on the mend. Oreo, his dog, is keeping him in check. Keeping his seat warm while he's running walking on the treadmill. All that good stuff. He's in good spirits. I'm looking forward to seeing him fishing again soon. It'll be a while, I'm sure. I think he said it was 2 months recovery time, something like that, before he could really do anything.
I thought he's been posting fishing videos this week.
Oh, he may be editing stuff and posting stuff. It doesn't mean he's been fishing.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I don't know.
But he's been off the water lately. So if you guys know him, give him a shout out, give him a prayer. He would love to have that. And
Bob's good people.
Bob is a good people. He's lost a ton of weight. Even in this picture, he's lost more weight since September. He looked good right now. He's lost a ton of weight. He says his back's been better, all that good stuff.
Honestly, it's great they made that decision when he did, because I think that his heart condition would have been so much worse.
For sure. I bet.
So, someone's been looking out for him.
Right. See, look at that smile. That's how that guy feels about catfish right there. Look at the eyes on that thing, man.
Yeah.
It's like, you
dropped it.
But look at that fish, man. That thing is huge. And Bob's not a tiny dude by any means. He's smaller than me, but I mean, that's a big fish.
That's a big fish.
And this is from February of this year. That is a 25-pound common carp that I caught in February. Okay, so we had a weird winter this year. The first week of January we had zero temperatures for like the week before New Year's, I guess, so the end of December. Single digit stuff. So everything was
cold?
Yeah, it was single digits. It was like below 10 degrees because all the water pipes at work froze. Oh, yeah. And also rupturing when we went back to work.
I remember that now.
The second day of January, I went fishing and I caught. I don't actually don't have a picture of it on here right now, but you can actually see that video of mine. I have it. I might show it here in a little bit. 26 and a half pound carp. I caught the second day of the year, which is cool. First trip, and it's actually the very first fish of the year. So I started off this year with a PB. So I knew it was going to be an interesting year because of that. But then in February, it had been cold. We had this one week where it went up to like 79 degrees for like 4 days. So my buddy and I happened to have a day off. He met with me, and we went fishing at this creek over here. And yeah, caught this 25 pound. That was 25 pounds. Same fish. And actually, this next one, the next fish I show you is going to be probably one of my favorite fish I've caught this year. And it's by far the prettiest picture. There it is. That right there is only 22 pounds. But that thing looked, look at the mouth on that thing. That thing looked massive. Mick, thank you. Thanks for coming back.
Picture.
But it is one of my wife's favorite pictures too. But look at they got the orange tail, the fins here. Now, if this guy had been in spawn, these fins get so orange. It's almost like my shirt. They get so boldly orange. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, that's probably it's one of my favorite fish of the year, for sure. And like I said, it's only 22 pounds, but Dave was with me. He did a good job of having good angles in that picture because that fish looks much bigger than 22 pounds.
Yep.
But it was only 22, and it's awesome. And like I said, it's one of my favorite. You see, there's no leaves on the tree. There's no greenery at all.
What did you use to take those photos?
My cell phone.
It's better pictures than you've ever taken with your phone.
Well, it's different when somebody else is taking a picture and they actually do the focus and stuff. It's hard to do selfies.
It's true.
But yes, Matt. We work with a kid named Dean, and Matt's making the point that this fish is bigger than Dean. But Dean is a 22-year-old kid, and I kid you not, he's probably about as skinny as this tripod. Nice guy, but definitely young and definitely has a lot to learn.
You dropped it.
Matt said the Samsung cameras are better than Apple's.
Listen, we're on a live stream that's supposed to be like PG. Shut up.
You get in trouble, Matt. Starting fights on my wife.
And at least my iPhone will charge.
Yeah, my phone might be broken and fried forever.
It.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Sweet. Okay, cool. Couldn't get it to work this morning. This is Zach, Catfish Viking. We went fishing with him a while back. Him and Big Skip. Actually, Skip's right there, actually behind him. This is at the end of the gathering on their way back home. We went ahead and followed them down to Nickajack Lake and tried to do some fishing. That is the only fish we caught.
It was disappointing.
It was.
But there were a lot of us, like there were kids.
It was. It was still a good time. We still had lots to talk about and hang out. But
it was
yeah,
a good chill, good hangout and everything. But it wasn't very productive.
And I learned how to make homemade slip floats that are awesome. Skip needs to do a video about that at some point.
You say hi.
And then obviously you got to have the bunny ears at some point. Shout out to Skip for that. So that would have been in April. And then this, okay. I have never caught a gizzard shad on rod and reel. Not only is that one of the biggest gizzard shad I ever had in my hand, but I caught it on rod and reel.
Look at you're squishing it.
I had to. It was so slimy and squirmy, I couldn't get it to hold it.
Okay, so you are squishing it.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just asking because I don't know.
I mean, you see my hand there. That thing is bigger than my hand. It was like a 12-inch gizzard shad. It was absolutely huge. I did cut it in half and try to catch catfish with it. It did not catch catfish. It was a very slow bite that day. But
can you give me that, please?
Can you do what?
Sorry.
Charles needs to smoke some fish. He needs to catch some fish so he can smoke some fish. I'm not responsible for giving him fish all the time. Plus, I'm not going to... Okay. Back to the whole... if you guys missed the conversation with David earlier, I prefer to eat smaller fish. They're fresher. They're younger. They haven't been marinating all the stuff that's in the water, all that good stuff. But also, I like the idea of keeping the gene pool healthy. If I catch a big fish, I'm going to let it go so it can reproduce.
Make another big fish.
If I catch a record fish, I'm gonna keep it out of the water just long enough to get the record numbers, and then I'm gonna let it go. Some people would mount it, all that good stuff. They make replica mounts for a reason. I'm not gonna take that DNA out of that pool. I'd rather have the healthy population of big fish later.
But you could be eating a record fish that never got to grow into a record fish.
That's why she doesn't eat fish.
I don't. Yeah,
She's
that's literally my.
It could be.
I don't like the flavor, but that is.
It could
really
be a
my
world
biggest
record tomorrow.
thing. That's true. Like you could be eating a fish that would have been like 3 million pounds. I mean, never would happen, but that's not the point.
Right? Yeah, David. That's how I caught this one. Was on a jig, and yeah, it just surprised me. Yes, Sandy, intentional squishing.
I asked too because I didn't know.
This is a drum I caught. It's actually the same day as that gizzard shad. So what happened was I got to the river, and there was a ton of people fishing on the wall by the dam. So I was not able to jig that wall like I wanted originally. So I was fishing with jigs to try to get fresh bait. Ended up catching that gizzard shad. Was going for skipjack. Didn't catch any skipjack. A friend of mine happened to show up and give me a skipjack. So I did do some catfishing with that as well. Never did catch anything on the skipjack rod though. Oddly enough, almost everything I caught was on jigs with worms. So yeah, I'm sorry, jigs with shad. Actually, it was shad, not worms. But yes, Mick, appreciate it. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow, I'm hoping to do the overnight carp fishing trip tomorrow. I pre-baited the spot a few days ago, and I pre-baited again last night. I did see some fish rolling when I was pre-baiting last night, so I'm hopeful and hope to get on some big ones tomorrow.
Do we have time for 2 dad jokes?
What you got?
Well, this is from Chelsea.
All right. she
said, "Hey, Anthony, did you know that birthdays are good for your health? It's a scientific fact. People who have more birthdays live longer. Have birthday." But she has another one.
Tell her I said thank you for that.
What did the birthday balloon say to the safety pin?
Pop.
Hey, Buster. Thanks, Chelsea.
Chelsea was one of the respiratory therapists at the hospital for Josie when we were in the NICU. So we got to know her really well, and she recently just had a baby as well. So
we've known Chelsea since day one. But day one since you went to the NICU.
They all kind of remember me from the NICU because I did my best to tell them dad jokes every day while we were there.
It brought them joy. It made the days a little bit easier because it's not easy being in the NICU as a parent, but it's not easy being there all the time with all the babies, as someone that actually works there. So he tried to bring joy, and they really did appreciate it and enjoy it.
Right. Mick, so the baits that I pre-baited with, I did boiled feed corn, prepared cracked corn, and in the States, we have I think they have it in the UK too. They have it's called a sweet feed pellets for horses. It's got molasses, vitamins, alfalfa.
Get your finger out your nose.
I don't remember if it's wheat germ or if it's just wheat byproducts, but it's just like a protein based pellet, plant based pellet, and I throw those out too. The molasses flavor, the grass, or the alfalfa, I should say, and the vitamins and whatnot. I use that. It dissolves into like a ground bait. And so that's what I have. That's what I pre-baited with. And then when I actually go fishing, I actually threw boilies out too. The boilies I actually make out of those sweet feed pellets. And then I dip them in molasses. But when I'm actually fishing, I have a little PVA bag of the pellets out there. A lot of people in the States prefer to use the pack baits. I don't like the mess. Gets all the gear all sticky and whatnot. So and if I'm doing a longer trip or I plan on eating food and whatnot too, I like the idea of keeping it cleaner, and it's just more convenient. The only downfall, obviously, with PVA anything is fishing in the rain, but it's not been a problem yet. You can get butane, but I've not bought any and messed with it because it's kind of expensive. It's on my to-do list though. At some point, just experimenting. But I'm trying to find more spots first, because a lot of my spots are getting crowded, and so I've been trying to find more spots first. And obviously, I don't want to put a ton of money into spots that potentially have no fish. As a primer. A primer for what, Sandy? Matt, tell everybody I said thank you. Appreciate it. He said everybody at work tells me happy birthday.
Yeah, I can see that. I can't see the rest of them because I'm blind.
This is another smallmouth. Well, Mick, I would definitely give it a shot. Like I said, I've been told it was good, and I've also been told that what's the other one? There was some other one besides betaine that I was told was something about amino acids was supposed to be really good too. But I haven't, like I said, I haven't messed with it because that stuff's more expensive. But I'm also adjusting the boilie recipe because the one I currently have, the boilies, they're not hard per se, but they're a little more rubbery. I do wish they were a little softer. And I think part of that's because I use the sweet feed and semolina flour. I think there's too much gluten in it. And then I'm probably working it too much too. So I'm going to try to do some more corn flour in the next batch and see if it's softer. So speaking of smallmouth, actually, while we're here, in 20, let's see, Josie was born in 21. Mm-hmm. So 2021 was my best year for smallmouth. In 2020, I guess both those were my best years for smallmouth because at the lock, for whatever reason, they were running up in that creek. And there was one day I caught 7 of them, and only one of them was less than 18 inches long. I mean, I literally caught 6 almost, if not trophy class size smallmouth in the same day. It was absolutely insane. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing for sure. Talk about the pre-baiting thing, prepping an area with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Krill. So I don't know how I've been hesitant to try meat-based stuff because the catfish here are so prominent, and so I've not really considered trying it. I probably should, especially because we all know carp like crayfish and shells and mussels and all that good stuff. So I thought about trying to make some stuff with that in it, but then again, I've been hesitant because of the catfish because I know they all like that stuff as well.
So his carp stuff is not made for catfish. Like they tend to be like
it's more plant-based stuff.
Well, no, I mean like your rods and stuff. They're not made for catching catfish and stuff.
You can catch catfish with them, but yeah, it's not made for it.
Right. So you don't want to be going for carp and then get like a gigantic catfish that can possibly break your rod pot or something.
I would still try it. I mean,
I
it is
know
what it is.
You would, but like
a broken rod for a big fish is a rod broken worth it.
I know that.
Big Mike, good morning. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
She's talking to you.
Hi, Josie. Yeah. You're in a mood today.
Sorry.
Let's see. All right, so this is the first bass I caught on a is it sponsored the right word? Yeah, I had a couple reach out to me. They wanted to sponsor a video. They make handmade, hand-poured plastic baits and handmade spinner baits and stuff. And they asked me to do a video with their stuff. So this is the first time I've had anything that was sponsored, and I caught a fish with it. And that's pretty exciting. And it wasn't a huge bass. For them, if you're interested in their baits, they make good stuff. It's Fishers of Men, Lures, and More. Melody and Dustin Painter are the couple. I went to school with Melody back in high school, and wow, that was a long time ago. that was 14 years ago when I was in school.
But they're local-ish. They're from Benton. They're in Benton.
Yep.
They do all kinds of stuff, not just fishing stuff, but they make some really cool things.
Oh yeah, and so that fish is always going to be special to me because that was the first one I caught on a sponsored piece of gear, which is pretty cool. David, I like the way you think. He says, rule of thumb, if you break one rod, you should buy 2.
No. He'll intentionally go buy crappy ones.
I've been following that rule for a long time, and now I have a ton of gear.
Your child's trying to escape.
I actually need to probably do a used gear giveaway at some point.
She's about to escape.
Escape. There's that bass again on one of that lures. And then we have a couple that we're friends with from Pennsylvania that come down.
Good friends.
Christian and Brandy.
Mm-hmm. Hey, there's Brandy.
We didn't catch a lot of fish when they came down, but we had a good time. She got this little baby catfish, which is pretty funny because we were going for bass, and the bass were not cooperating at all.
No.
But she did catch a little catfish. This is Shayna with her first ever and only one I've ever seen in person warmouth.
I was so proud.
Now, what I will tell you, Travis Young was fishing with us that day when we got that. And we proceeded to go fishing with it. And before somebody says it, the difference between a warmouth and the rock bass, because I noticed it looks very similar in this coloration, especially with this photo, is actually the spines on the back, if you count them, and then the white tips on the fins on the bottom. The warmouth have the white tips, the rock bass do not.
We had to Google because we didn't know.
Yep. But we went catfishing with him, and she puts his warmouth out, and we're at Raccoon Mountain at the pump station, and we're there. We fish all day. We finally get some clicks on the reel, some slow clicks. There was a miscommunication error between me and my wife.
It's all his fault.
I told her to engage the reel so the rod could set itself.
I didn't know what that meant.
To engage your reel, you just turn it just enough to engage the clutch so it's not free spool anymore. She says, okay, goes up there, grabs that rod, and she cranks down as fast as she can.
I don't get the fish as much as he does. I don't know the terminology and phrases.
I hear excuses.
You're lucky it's your birthday.
We pulled up that rod. That warmouth was still alive.
Oh, but he was.
It was missing a ton of scales and a perfect bite shape C on its mouth. I know, you were there. You remember, don't you? And this was a couple weeks ago. There was a large gap between when I fished and caught fish and when I...
That's a grouper.
No, it's not. He's being a goofball. But yep, this was a carp. This is also a carp.
Yes, Dave. Yes.
More carp. And this one. This is from 2022. This was my PB. This was 25 pounds. Like I said, it was my PB, no longer my PB. But I caught it right below the riverboat. And actually, the one I'm going to show you in a minute, the actual PB I have now, the 26.5, was caught in the same spot. But yeah, let me pull up another
Child, you don't need daddy's arm
tab here. And see if I can find it. Here we go. Literally. Come on, where's that? Here we go. All right. This is it. This is the PB. Oh, wait, hang on. You guys can't see that yet. I'm being dumb. Hang on. Stop sharing. Present. Share screen. Share screen. There we go. Share. All right. And then head to stage. There we go. All right. And
I'll back it up a little bit. I'll back it up a little bit.
There we go. All right. Now you guys can see PB in action with the Euro style gear.
He had a slingshot.
Like I said, this is the second day of January of this year.
I remember that. I was at home.
Oh yeah, baby. That's a common carp.
Yes, they are, Mick. I will say you guys have beautiful specimen fish, though. The mirrors and stuff you guys have in those syndicate lakes are absolutely crazy.
Yep. Corn.
Matt's heckling me. I say PB. He's like, yeah, I love peanut butter.
Which one's Matt? Which one lives down by us? That's Chris.
That's Thomas.
First fish of the year for me.
Matt, you met at the Halloween party.
What's he dressed as?
The long black Patriot mask. You don't remember?
No, I remember because
Yeah,
it was
that's
weird. Oh, which explains a lot. We'll stop her. Oh.
I catch them up on the lake too, but the ones down here on the river, man, they always fight harder. I guess because they fight that current all day. Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
Hey, you need to fix the camera. It's like
Tennessee River goldfish.
nope, that's not what I meant. It's too. The camera's angled back too far. There you go. That's better. Thank you. Sorry. Wanna go, Daddy? Yeah.
Get on into Daddy.
Hi, Daddy.
Oh, almost.
What a face she's making. Okay.
I'd say you break 20.
You're tired now.
Can we stick your tongue out at Daddy?
You got tired.
All right.
Be careful with your tube.
No.
Put that extra handle there for it.
She's still
It's like 30, 40 pounds. Huh?
I don't know if he's a 40. I'd be happy if he was 30, but I guess he's at least, I'm thinking he's probably at least 20.
That doesn't look like he's more than 20.
I'll know in a minute.
That look like about 30.
He's barely hooked, too. Let me set this down.
And that fish was caught on boiled feed corn,
You gonna let him go?
Yeah.
dipped in honey.
Actually, I'm going to.
Good.
I'm required.
Cannot wait till she can start standing on her own. If you're fishing.
Mick, I'm sure they do. I use 20-pound line. They're a good fight. So, but I also deal with a lot of zebra mussels and rocks and concrete and stuff. So,
With the one rain and
Your
everything.
coworker's weird.
no, he's a good guy. We talk about he's weird.
Really only handsome one there.
He's telling me.
Yeah, get you this nice little pillow to go on so you don't hurt yourself.
You said it whenever I was talking about the
Stop
camera.
around the concrete anyway.
I'm pretty sure he's answering the whole "which one is he?" question.
Oh, maybe. He's a little conceited.
I actually don't really remember any of your coworkers. I don't see them enough.
I said they need another gathering thing for work soon.
They should. They should go to the Southern Bell again. That was awesome. I did enjoy that one.
What kind do I have today?
Good job,
I think
Stan.
it's just a Dollar General special today.
Hey, what's wrong?
I just grabbed what I had in the cabinet.
Hey, incorporate, please.
Whew.
I don't know, man.
30 pounds on the dot minus the net. That's a new personal best for me. My biggest one was 25 pounds last year.
You see hi?
In the same spot.
Yeah. There it is. 26.5 pounds.
It's a good fish, guys. We're going to get back in the water.
And yes, this is not considered a good release, but it's quite a
He
bit
did
of a
his
drop between where I was in the water.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty big jump.
And I did make sure it was head first. It's not like I let it go on the side, so it should have been okay.
That
But
was
some
30
people were trying to
pounds
find it, I know.
with the net. So I'm going to weigh the net quick.
Hey, what's this?
Oh, there you go.
You're
But yep, so there was that one.
That's a good
That's-
scale. Becca got us that one, didn't
She
she?
did. Becca Mudtramp is the one that got us that scale. And she
After-
actually got it to us the day that we forgot the scale, or I forgot the scale
Okay.
for the 1v1.
Yeah,
With
so
NJ.
because I went and got the scale from home, she said it's another one, and that's what we use primarily now. It's such a good scale.
You take your grandpa's.
Hey, come here. Come here.
And as for more reflections, let's see here.
Shh, child. You're okay. Maybe. Okay, we're gonna leave again, I guess.
All right, guys. We just got done catching bait. Time to start bumping.
See if I can find it.
Hey, I need you to take her for a second so I can leave. I can't leave. Wait.
Everybody say goodbye to Josie and Mrs. Yak. They're gonna step out again. 'Cause
Great
getting fussy
seeing
again.
y'all. Have a great day, everyone. Come here, babe.
See you in a little bit. You good?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Oh, now you're fine, really? Okay.
Maybe she just wanted to move. Oh.
Yep.
There we go. Gotcha. Yep. Let's see. Thank you, Sandy. You could, David. You could. Appreciate it, Mick. Trying to find this
What's the matter?
flathead.
You moved to hurry. Gotcha. Come on, Mr. Flathead.
Hang on.
Take it. There you go. I forgot about the time change. I just realized that. Should be home by 10. I'm like, it's only 9. I'm like, wait. Oops.
First go, you got an hour of fishing when you come down there.
Yeah.
This is me bumping with Bobcat.
Ooh, got a bite. The bite. Take it. There you go. Come on.
When you're bumping, your line's actually in free spool.
Fired now, man.
So you
Oh, that one.
Loaded up.
Yeah, I believe so.
you have to actually hold the line down until the weight
Yes, sir.
or the fish is completely hooked, and then you can engage the reel. Otherwise, you strip the reel. So it's a little bit different way of fishing, but it's still fun,
Yeah.
and I enjoy it a lot. I know Bob does.
You know, pretty much every time my wife's texting me, I've got a
Mick,
bite.
thanks. You appreciate it.
Cut up 6 money.
Hello again, Mrs. Yak.
Oh, he went up her.
He's going upstream, man.
He's under the boat.
I get so excited for this fish. Bob had to calm me down.
Good fish.
That's a flathead. That's a flathead.
Big old flathead.
Yes!
That's your
Ah!
Usually, man. Chill.
See, I was so excited, man. I've only ever caught 2
Yes!
flatheads.
There's your
Oh.
Like I said, I've only ever caught 2 flatheads, and the first one was about 6 inches long.
I've
So
always
never
thought they
got
were
away with
cool.
it.
Tricky hide the finger things, right?
Awesome fish.
Oh!
It was fun.
Pushing towards me. There you go. That's a big right there. Perfect.
Well, guys, good time to do an outro. Just goes to show, bumping is an awesome technique for catching any kind of catfish
Beautiful fish.
during certain times of the year. And if you're not doing it, you're definitely missing out. I'm gonna get a quick weight on this guy. I got plenty of pictures, thankfully. We're gonna let him go.
I'm gonna say 20.
It's 24 pounds.
Beautiful fish. Glad I have my hand in the loop.
Sure.
He's ready to go. We'll let you go, buddy. See ya.
There you go.
Man.
Definitely fun. And I was excited. And yes, Bob did have to calm me down, but it doesn't matter. It's all good. But yeah. Let's see what else here. So my wife and I also, if you guys didn't know, my wife and I do a 1v1 every year. We try to do it on the last day of the year, but at the very least, it's the last fishing trip of the year. We've done it the last 2 years so far. The first year, she ended up winning. We didn't catch a single fish that day, so it went to her because she caught the biggest, at the time she had the biggest household record for the catfish. So she caught that one that year, and so that we gave her the win on that one. And then last year I won. I actually won quite well that year. I think it was like 5 or 6 fish to 1 or 0 or something. I can't remember. But yeah, it's fun. It's different, you know. And on those days, it's literally all species count. But we do a point system. We do biggest fish, smallest fish, most fish, First Blood, which is first fish, and most species. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a point system. There's 5 points available, and whoever gets the best 3 out of 5 wins. And we're going to continue doing that for sure. Eventually, I'm sure Josie will get in on it as well, or at least maybe something similar with her in it as well. But it's definitely something she and I enjoy, and it's fun. Here, actually in this video, Shayna almost loses a rod right off the bat. First fish of the day.
Hey everybody, welcome to Yakkity Outdoors today.
There we go. Not really sure why it's lagging all of a sudden.
We're over at Camp Columbus fishing for whatever it'll bite using night crawlers. I got Mama Yak.
There we go. Watch this for a second. It's pretty funny.
That's wind putting a bow in your line.
Just wait for it. Tommy, thank you. Appreciate it, buddy. Hope you and your family are doing well.
That was not. Hang on.
Yep, there goes. I guess it's my fault. She almost lost the rock. I did tell her to hang on. And I forgot the tripods that day. So it's literally, the camera's literally sitting on top of the battery box. At one point, Josie tries to take the rod out of her hand, which is funny.
Target species, baby.
And to get the net ready.
I'm trying, Jenna.
Yes, it was.
Mommy's got good luck on her chest right now. Oh, I'm sorry, my love.
Yeah. I have good luck on my chest right now. Whack! Smacks her with the rod handle.
Mama didn't get skunked.
Mama did not.
Are you?
She was so little,
baby.
and she had no hair.
Right there.
I know. He didn't swallow.
That's a pretty fish.
It's definitely
But
she was definitely tiny.
Bob would eat that.
We've had a lot of fun doing this whole family fishing thing.
Based on experience.
Definitely need to get better at picking
I know,
music
based on
because
experience.
I don't know if this actually matches.
I am so excited. I told you to take me fishing, huh?
It was. She makes a good point there. It was kind of a last minute fishing trip idea. It was supposed to storm that night. She's like, let's just go before it rains, and we got on some fish for sure. I don't know if she's ever gonna. Did I ever show it to the camera? Maybe.
Josie touch it. Hey Josie, you want to touch a fish?
There's Josie touching her first fish. Go figure it was a catfish.
Yay!
All right.
It was a pretty little fish though.
Channel cat. Or see if we can get some more.
Exactly, David. Exactly.
Yep.
Where are you going fishing? We're gonna watch the Keep Cookie Chip today.
So this spot is actually on the big lake, but it is it's a private campground. That particular spot is, and it's only like $100 a year membership, but we got it because they have a nice park and they have a really nice swimming area and everything. And we thought it'd be good for Josie. And we used it quite a bit last year, not as much as we would have liked, so we didn't renew it this year. But I would consider doing it again in the future. They have a nice private boat launch and everything too, which is nice because there's only ever like 2 boats going in and out of there, so you can actually use it for kayaks easier and whatnot.
Fish number 2. Nice little bluegill.
I'm not going to bore you with all the bluegill, but it got pretty ridiculous at one point. And, there was a spot to the right with a tree or something. And so you'd hit that and nonstop action right there. It was pretty crazy. And let's see what else we got here. And I do kayak fishing too. This day in particular, I will show you this one because if you guys haven't seen it, there's something funny at the end. And I will find it. If it'll ever load. My wife calls me. We're supposed to have lunch with my grandmother while we're up there.
All right, I'm heading back to the car.
And I do head back to the car. I am slowly heading there, but I went from 0 bites to all of a sudden non-stop action. It's absolutely hilarious. All good, Sandy. All good. Exactly.
Got one.
I do apologize for the skin showing. Those shirts like to ride up, but they're a lot more comfortable, that's for sure. And just like that. Went from no fish to fish. And literally, it's nonstop. There's one. There's another one.
Still
another one. All that good stuff. But at the end...
Sweet.
Okay, this is it. After this fish. This is the funny part. All right. I'm going for bass. I'm using a Ned rig, which is a little tiny jig with a little tiny plastic bait. And I'm using... I think I'm using an 8-pound braid with a 6-pound fluorocarbon leader, if I'm not mistaken. And you'll see in a second.
Oh, all right, bonus.
I still don't understand how lucky I get with these stuff. You'll see.
Sweet. 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 Got this nice hammer handle.
My friends in Europe, you'll
Didn't
recognize
get the way
this
I wanted
fish.
to get it, but I got one. Yeah, hang on, buddy. Come on.
If you're from the South, you may not know what this fish is. They're not from around here. There we go. Nice northern pike on 6-pound line or something like that. Maybe it was 10-pound leader. I can't remember. It was really light. And almost lost a fish. Almost lost the rod. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. I don't even have that on full screen. Here, just take a look at this right here. And this fish gives me fits the whole rest of the day. Whole rest of the day.
I promise I'll let you go.
Breaks my line right there, so now it's just flopping about my butt.
Calm down, buddy. Or don't. Whatever.
Right?
Well, he broke me off, so this will be the end of this trip. And the last. The last of the Michigan trips.
I had that fish barely hooked in the front of the mouth.
Nice way to end it. Really nice way to end it.
They're beautiful fish. We don't have them here. And there's my wife calling me again. You know, it's time to go.
Well, my wife calling me too.
I was in trouble that day. Just so we're clear.
Here we go.
I was definitely in trouble that day.
Got the Ned rig back. You guys think gar are bad. Gar hurt worse. These guys are slimier. There we go. Last fish of the trip. Nice little northern pike. Sweet way to end it. They got teeth. So yeah, you definitely don't want to put your fingers in there. But between that and the wife calling me, it's a good time to go. We'll see you guys next time on the Extra Outdoors. Remember,
that was fun.
Tight lines. If you enjoy fishing, click on the bottom playlist. If you enjoy bass fishing, click on the top playlist.
I definitely have way too much fun with this stuff. Not that it's a bad thing. You know, if you like fishing, it is what it is. One of my best videos though, in terms of having fun with it, would have been, let's see, probably this one. This one just had so much action, and it was so smooth that day that even though I was just fishing for bait, I had a blast. Oh, the old school intro. I use this intro on my podcast now. If y'all didn't catch the beginning of this, but it's fun. Brings back memories. I've been doing YouTube for about 2 years now, right? So hope this isn't too loud, guys. If it is, let me know, please.
Audio is going to be terrible today, but we're bait fishing. My buddy Bob called me and said, "Hey, we're going to catch some skipjack. You want to go?" So I'm meeting up with Bob from Bobcat Outdoors. We're going to see if we can load up on some.
Just to clarify, there's usually a sidewalk right here that you can go walk around, and it was underwater.
There's one. I didn't miss that one.
But you know, stuff like this. So I know that this was in March-ish, right? Water was flooded. It was cloudy. You know, that's the information about earlier you can get from reflecting on your past trips, whether it be fishing logs, videos, pictures, all that good stuff. You can actually go and find this information and use it to repeat the success. And it makes a big difference, you know?
Hang on. Don't need it.
And the crazy thing about these fish, you can run multiple jigs on your rod, and you can very easily catch. Like I was using 2 jigs here. You can very easily catch doubles and sometimes triples if you run enough jigs, and it can be insane. But when the skipjack are running, there's people up, like, I don't know if you can see it. I passed Bob. There's like 2 more people down that way, and then there was like 2 people up on the pier as well. All of us going for skipjack. I mean, when they're running, everybody's there for them. Watch this one walk across the water. No, it's not this one. There's one coming up where it literally walks across the water on its tail. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did. Oh, dang. No. We don't want that. What mean you're done? You're leaving?
So actually, skipjack are related to herring. They're a freshwater herring.
He's smoking.
But they're also referred to as the Tennessee River tarpon because they of the way their mouth shape is and how they fight, how acrobatic they are. I think this might be the one that walks across the water. We'll see in a second.
Okay.
If it is. Nope.
There's another one. Yep.
I missed it. There was one that walked across the water. It's pretty cool.
Glad you called me.
But yeah, like I said, I really enjoy fishing. And the goal of the channel when I first started doing this was to teach people how I catch fish. Now it's more about just getting people into the sport than anything else. So I do the podcasts, I do the videos. I'm actually working on tomorrow's trip is going to be the first of a new style of video. I'm a big fan of channels like Leon Bartrop, Simon Dew, Carl and Alex, Spencer from River Certified. They do a lot more truly vlog style videos where rather than just saying, "Hey, I'm here," and treating it more like a fishing TV show, it's literally trying to give you the whole experience of the trip. Kind of the thought process is they use more voiceover, stuff like that. I want to do more of that kind of thing, kind of explaining what my thought processes are rather than just saying, "Hey, I'm doing this. Hey, I'm doing that." And we're going to see how that goes. You know, it's going to be an experiment. And it is what it is. David, I appreciate that, man. I really do. And it makes a big difference. You know, you guys, the subscriber base, you know, most of you guys I'm friends with now at this point. I've known you guys for long enough and consider you friends and/or family at this point. And you guys have been through everything with me, you know, with stuff with my daughter, stuff with the channel, stuff with the wife, life, all that good stuff. And it is all greatly appreciated. For those who are curious about the boat we're working on, this is it right here. It's a 93 CNET.
Can't buy happiness, but it can buy me a boat.
Soon to be a catfish fishing machine, hopefully. And then you guys know I kayak fish, so I got some lights installed on my kayak, which is pretty nice. And a lot, you know, I do a lot of shorts too. Most of these are clips from either spots where I wasn't going to actually film a video, so I just wanted to do something quick, like this last one here. This spot I actually don't film in this location because the gentleman that taught me how to carp fish asked me not to. He's 81 years old, and out of respect for him and him teaching me stuff, I don't film there. But it's a decent spot for carp for sure. It's a decent spot for a lot of things. But it's a real one of those easier to access spots. And so, yeah, he asked me not to, and I don't do it. Here's that skipjack rig I was talking about with multiple jigs. Here's a video you guys might like if you haven't seen it. I have a rod in each hand. I'm reeling one in, and then the other rod gets hit. I lost the one. But I was able to reel the other one in.
Trying to reel it in with his mouth.
There's Big Mike in the background for those who don't recognize his voice.
You have to cut it.
If that was poor man's pizza, I hate the taste rich man's pizza. That stuff was good. There you go. Yep, caught one on my teeth.
What do you got?
Exactly, Sandy. That's why I enjoy doing that, because if I can help one other person do something better or safer or more successfully, then it's a win in my book for sure. Oh, hey, wait, where's that one at? I love Bobcat. You guys know that. I will always hold this above his head. He cost me a potential record skipjack.
Right. Oh, wow, man. Smoked it. That's bass. It's behind the boat. It's going to snag up in your line. Oh, it's not. That's a skipjack. Are you kidding me? No. That's a big one, dude. It looked like a skipjack anyway. I could be wrong.
You'll see why in a minute.
Under the boat.
I think it's huge.
Man.
Nope.
No! Bob! No! This guy. Oh! Yeah. He knows not to grab the line.
Yep. He grabbed the line. It happens, though. Oh, for all you carp fanatics, this is the first mirror I've ever seen in person, like where I could touch it, besides an aquarium. This is my buddy Nick.
Footage of this up close. There's his first mirror. A very feisty little guy.
Beautiful fish.
Footage of this.
And I hope to catch one someday. Maybe this year, we'll see. Maybe in the new spot tomorrow. Maybe. Here's my wife with the turtle.
So Shayna hooked a turtle first thing this morning.
Oh,
They hiss. Be careful.
it's stuck on the side of his neck.
Is it?
Yes.
So he went after it. Oh, hang on, buddy. Yeah.
Was not a happy turtle.
Okay.
You know what might work?
Yeah. Yep. Sorry, bud. Just send him down right there. He'll go.
It is
You'll run
random.
away
It's a
fast as you
genetic mutation, Sandy.
Yep.
Yeah, some people think they're a separate species. They're actually the same. They're literally the same species, just a genetic mutation. It's same kind of thing, where they get different colors and whatnot. And you know, some of them, like if you see the common carp or something, and you see that they got a messed up section of scales, usually that's due to an injury, right? Whether it be bow fishing or a bird or whatever. It can mess up their scale pattern, and it's because of its healing on the scarring and whatnot. It's definitely different. Here's a good one. My wife was very, very happy with this fish.
Yep. You know, like
She's
that
one of
while
my,
you
she's one of my
let him
favorite people to take fishing. She gets so excited.
There's our first fish, guys. For first fish of the day, first bass. Let me turn around because the sun's behind it, hard to see. Oh yeah, hold it up a little bit. Be as proud as you are about it. There you
Look
go.
at that smile. Look at that smile. There's another one too. Where is it at?
Fat shell cracker. Holy cow! You want to do it?
My wife. This was 2 weeks before my daughter was born.
I hold like this, maybe.
Let me get the bait out
If
first.
you guys don't know my daughter's story, she was born almost 4 months early.
Or not. Okay. Fish. Well, never mind.
Yep.
Here's the other one.
Very nice.
Same day.
You want to pet your fish before I throw it back? You want to throw it back?
Actually, it was not the same day. It was 2 days. They were same weekend.
And there we go.
Bloop.
Got one. Got something.
I was crappie fishing, and this fish came out of nowhere.
I think it might be actually a catfish. Oh yeah, it's a catfish. Sure is. No.
Yes, it
Eater
was.
size. Fun fight.
And yeah, it makes a good point. You can breed the mirror carp to have the different scale patterns too.
Oh, I beg to differ. He's the right side. That's like a sandwich and a half right there.
Nice little catfish.
No, it's a full grown. Oh, there you go. Quick release. Right there. I don't know if you can see me right there. And
It's like 2
he's just
weeks.
chilling.
It's pretty close. Let's see.
Poor little guy.
Yes. I flipped the kayak in January.
That's all right.
And this raccoon, it was a 55-degree day. I told myself it's the warmest day. I'm sick of waiting. I'm taking my kayak out. I'm taking it on the creek. Well, a sit on top kayak cannot go in a typical kayak launch. So I get on this kayak, I slide in, and immediately goes bloop, 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 right over. Broke a rod, lost a bunch of gear. It was cold. The water was like 40-something degrees. I was not ready for it. I managed to get out of the water and whatnot. But while I was trying to get up first, because the life jacket, I had one of those inflatable life jackets, it went off and everything. And so I was stuck trying to flip over and whatnot. And as I was getting up and opening my eyes, I saw this raccoon go in front of my face, like literally like this far from my face. White on the eyes, all that stuff. I just thought it was dead. I'm like, poor guy, it froze to death, right? So I get up and get out of the water and I look back in the creek. And one, I got some stuff floating over here too. So I went and got it too. But I see this raccoon. He's actually moving. He's trying to climb up. There was this tree in the water and it had a bunch of leaves. He was trying to climb up on these leaves, which obviously wasn't solid. So all he was doing was just getting nowhere. So I jumped back in the creek and I grabbed this raccoon and, it's barely moving. So, I mean, I'm not worried about it trying to bite me or anything at this point. So I grab it and I toss it up on the bank and I climb back out. And this thing's still shivering. And what I ended up doing, and some people are going to call me crazy, it is what it is. But I'm a firm believer that if you respect nature, nature will respect you. A lot of my success with fishing, I feel like, is due to, I personally am a religious man, but the concept of karma, all this other stuff, it's real. If you put good energy out, good energy will return. Just like anything else in life. Good food in equals good growth. It repeats itself over and over and over again. So like, and what I ended up doing was I took this raccoon and I had these waders that I was wearing, and I had this big warm jacket. So I put him against the waders and wrapped the jacket around him for a minute, and I waited for him to start moving a little bit more. Once he started moving a little bit more, I took him out and I put him. There was a sunny spot with a bunch of dead grass. It was kind of like I made it kind of like a little nest for him. I put him there, and I waited a few minutes till he was up and actually were able to start moving again before I left. But I think I could be wrong. I named him Alfred, so I don't know if I don't know if he's still out there or not. But Alfred, if you're out there, hope you're still doing good, bud. But yeah, so I did. I went back in and rescued a raccoon, and some people call me crazy for it because you're dealing with animal that could have rabies, all the other stuff. But you just gotta be careful, like with anything else. I probably should have wore gloves, but he was barely moving. I didn't think he was gonna make it. But then, like I said, I held him until he got warmer, started moving. He was calmed down. He was breathing gently. He was breathing normally. He wasn't like all frantic or anything looking. And so then I laid him down, and when I let him down, he was fine. And then at that point, I went and drug my kayak up to the truck and everything. Excuse me, sorry. And yeah, so I saved a raccoon. That was fun. Like I said, that was the first time I flipped a kayak. Oh, here's a good one. Daryl tried to kill me. Let's see. I'm missing something here. Yes. In case y'all didn't see it in chat, my wife, my daughter was raised on, or what, not raised, developed on Doritos and Dr. Pepper. It explains the attitude. The raccoon was determined. He wanted to live, just like anything else wanted to live. But yeah, let me pull this video back up here so you can see it. How do I do this? There we go. All right. But yeah, Daryl tried to kill me. We were anchored up fishing under these barges, and this big giant, like Caribbean style cruiser boat. Like, I don't even know why it's on the Tennessee River. It's so huge. Came flying by with his 4 motors. This zoom, huge wake. And it dislodged the boat just enough to move the anchor, and the anchor got stuck underneath the barge tie-off cables, which are cables about this big. And
That barge anchor.
we're dealing with an anchor trying to unhook ourselves.
Can you reach down and take it up? Whoa. Holy.
If it was not for those rods, his motor would have been busted, and that would have been awful.
I didn't either. I'm sorry. Oh, that's fine. It ain't your fault.
But because we had the anchor off the bottom, the current was starting to move us, but we were still stuck because of those cables, but we weren't truly stuck because the cables had enough slack to let the boat keep moving, and we couldn't see it because the cable didn't look like it was moving while we were messing with it, right? But yeah, the whole boat was moving. It was awful.
If you have what happened to me happen while you're sitting there waiting.
Since the wife's in the
Open
chat,
the
we're going to
spool,
show this
ask the
video
line
too.
first.
My wife does not even have to
You can't
cast to
hook it
catch
circle,
fish.
remember? Yep. Oh, he was chasing yours. Real. You do have a fish.
She literally had her bait in the water waiting for me to cast. We were
It's a
taking
bass.
turns because we were drifting that seam.
Congratulations.
And she's like, "Oh, I see a fish in front of me," and she catches it. She kills me.
If you have what happened to me happen while you're sitting there.
She does. She kills me. Well, hey. Yeah, it is a good clip. You're a good fisherman. Fisherwoman. How are you supposed to be called? You are awesome at it. I have fun taking you. I have fun taking Josie. I look forward to many more trips of it. And look forward to doing more videos and more chats with everybody and more podcasts. However, it is 9 o'clock. So I appreciate everybody that came in. Again, it's my birthday. We did a day about reflection, showed some video clips, showed some pictures, told some stories. But I'm gonna get off here and have breakfast with my wife and my kid, and then we're gonna go off for the day and do some stuff. Appreciate everybody coming in. Thank you. Thank you, Mick. Happy birthday to you too. I know yours is coming. Either yours happened or it's coming up soon. Because I saw your unboxing of your gift from Nick the other day. And hope you guys have a good day. I will be around some tomorrow. I'm gonna do some couple of short live streams tomorrow night during the fishing trip. So be watching out for those. And if you guys enjoy the content, feel free to share it out to friends and family. Always good stuff. Always have fun with it. And that's the whole point. Have fun, show fishing, why fishing is fun, and get everybody else into it. And until next time, this is the Yak with the Yaks. They obviously saw them here. They're not here at the second, but they're all here. And we will see you guys next time. Thank you. Love you guys. Have a good day.